So Delmarva Power, with the help of builders and architects, has developed Super E+. The result? Year-round living comfort, high retail value, and money-saving efficiency. To find out more, contact your Delmarva Power District office and discover the benefits of Super E+.
Whether you're a world-class skier or in competition with yourself, you need a boot that puts you in control. Flex-On by Reichly. Its unique rib design flexes naturally. You'll notice an overall improvement in your skiing. Smoother, more powerful control, and day-long comfort. Natural Flex is the difference. Now available in 2 convenient rear entry models, the RX-7 with cable retention and the RX Air. Reichly, the Swiss art in ski boots.
Here at Delaware Stadium, the University of Delaware captain Greg Robertson is meeting with the game captains for the Temple Owls. Number 30 is Harold Harmon from Indian River High School in Frankfort, Delaware. Number 36 is Kevin Ross, starting cornerback. Number 69 is starting offensive center Mike Berger. And Bob Shires, a reserve defensive tackle, is big, number 92. As Delaware on the sideline, and we had a little spark of interest, Howard, here even before the captains met at the center of the field as the Delaware band finished playing our national anthem and set up to perform the customary University of Delaware alma mater. We ran out of time.
That's right. You have to, the band has to be off the field in time to start the game on time. If they're not, if the game is delayed because of pregame activities or halftime activities, if the halftime runs too long, it's a 15-yard penalty against the home team on the ensuing kickoff.
And one of the reasons, or the primary reason, that there was a delay here at the start as Delaware's band came on to perform, Temple University's Chariot White Band came down from Philadelphia, and they took a little bit of the pregame activities away, and they ran out of time.
Well, usually they have their routines timed pretty good. What it probably was the 2 teams stayed out on the field for the warm-up a little bit longer than they customarily do.
Delaware will receive to start the first half of play. The Temple sideline, Temple 1-5 under their new head coach, replacing the retired Wayne Harden, Bruce Arians. In his first year, former assistant to the legendary, the late Paul Bear Bryant at Alabama. And Arians, one of the youngest head football coaches in the country, only 39 years of age.
Interestingly, I'm sorry, go ahead. Temple won the toss, Len, but they elected to kick off. They took the wind. There is a brisk wind blowing from our left to our right, so conceivably Delaware could receive the kickoff in both halves.
Freshman Jim Cooper, number 1, is set to kick off for the Chariot White of Temple. And he booms it high into the far side, and Cason at the 10, 15, to about the 19-yard line. One of those making the initial hit on him was John Smith, a reserve defensive back, and Delaware will operate from their own 19-yard line on first down. Delaware will have some changes in the offensive set as Gary Johansson has moved in to play the center spot, and regular center Pat McKee is now playing left tackle. Nothing. Absolutely nothing on the first down carry. Cason carries it, but he runs in to Shires, the defensive tackle, and down he goes. Shires is not listed as starting for the Chariot White, but he makes the first hit and had assistance. Loss of a yard, second down and 11 for Delaware. Hammond splits to the far side. That's Pyre as the wingback on the right. Cason now in motion. Reeder. And not much. Back to the original line of scrimmage, the 19-yard line. Tom Kilkenny. There's the Delaware offensive front. John Cason, B.J. Webster, Chris Heyer, Dan Reeder, Paul Hammond, Mark Rossi, Pat McKee. John Laub is not starting. Steve Pontiakis is also not starting, although Pontiakis has now come in on the third down play. Third down, Delaware still needing 10 from their own 19-yard line. This is higher in motion. Reeder. Jeff Ward makes the stop, number 99. Ward's a freshman. Came a long way to play football at Temple. He is the son of a military man and last played his high school football with the American school in Brussels, Belgium. That's a long way from Philadelphia, Howard.
Sure is.
Mike Anderson comes on to punt. Anderson averaging just under 35 yards a kick. Into the wind. And the Owls just let it go out of bounds. Anthony Young is their punt return specialist. And Temple will have excellent field position just inside of their own. Now just on the Temple side of the 50-yard line.
Len, he's listed as a backup on the 2 deep sheet, but Harold Harmon from Indian River is out there to start the game, the first series for Temple.
Well, he had a great showing against Delaware a year ago. 209 yards, including a 69-yard touchdown run. First and 10 for the Owls. They place the football at midfield. This is Paul Palmer. Palmer is a freshman from Potomac, Maryland. He puts the football to the Delaware 46-yard line. Not great size, Palmer, 5'9", 168-pounder. He is their leading rusher, 225 yards, 1 touchdown. He's averaging 4.7 on the run. Second down and 6 from just outside the Delaware 45-yard line. This is Carter, Russell Carter, in motion. Palmer just stacking everything up, and a flag goes down as Palmer goes down.
That was after the whistle, too, Len.
John Gannon got him around the ankle, and then he had assistance. Face mask call against Delaware, says referee Anthony Chambers.
Question now, is it the 5 or the 15? It's the small one.
It's the shorter of the two. It's 5, but gives Temple a first down at the Delaware 37-yard line. Carter comes out, and number 4, James Edwards, will split to the far side. Good look at number 14, Tim Reardon, senior quarterback from Waterford, Connecticut. Palmer finding a little bit of a seam and then gets tripped as he crosses the 35-yard line. Vaughn Dickinson in on the stop for the Hens. Doesn't look like much, Howard, but that's 5 yards.
Palmer is a good, strong runner. Well, when you look at his size, I mean, he's listed at 168 in the program, and you know how accurate the program heights and weights are sometimes. They try to beef him up a little bit.
Second down and 5, a little better than 5 at the 33-yard line. This is Edwards in motion. Palmer again. It's been all Paul Palmer early here, running him out of the tailback spot. This time to the 30-yard line.
A little bit of extracurricular activity over here on the side between Willie Marshall from Temple and Mike Harris from Delaware. They got tangled up with each other after the whistle.
Charles Bryce credited with the last stop of Palmer. It'll be third down and a long 2 at the Delaware 30-yard line. Palmer again, and he is going to be stopped short of the first down 6. Sean Riley, number 58, he's just getting up off the ground. And Captain Greg Robertson was on the bottom of the pile. Fourth down.
Looks like they're going to go for it.
They need a short one, and it's a very short one here on fourth down.
Is there such a thing as a big play this early in the game?
I don't think so. Delaware stacking its defense. Who else? Palmer, and he has the first down. Greg Robertson had a shot at him, let him slip outside, and Palmer almost exclusively the Temple offense here in the first 5 minutes of play. Gives the cherry and white, the Owls, a first down at the Delaware 27-yard line. So the Owls are just testing their manhood. Here's another look at it from the end zone. He just slipped away from Robertson and slipped for the first down. Palmer. This time they stack everything, do the Blue Hens. They're there. Cannon, Pulaski. Both Pulaskis, as a matter of fact, were there. Jim Pulaski wears number 16. Ken Pulaski wears number 30. They're the identical twins, and boy, would they like a big win today. They are from Philadelphia.
That's the play the Delaware defense needed the last time.
Greg Pronko, that's number 14. Tim Reardon, senior quarterback. Greg Pronko is split to the far side. Carter is split out of our view to the near side. Second down and 8. Harmon, he is dragging Riley. This is Harold Harmon. Temple setting it up nicely as they just exclusively ran Palmer and then slipped it to the up back Harmon. Gain of 5 on the play. It'll be third down and 3.
He got 4 of those yards on his own, Len.
Good leg drive by Harmon. He's got good size. 5'9", but he goes 208. Went for better than 200 yards against the Hens a year ago, including that long touchdown jaunt. The only touchdown of the ball game. The Temple won 22-0. And now we are going to have Temple as Reardon is trying to check off at the line of scrimmage. The Owls are going to be hit with a delay of game penalty.
Apparently Reardon didn't like the defense he saw, or the play he had called for the defense that Delaware came out in, and it took him a little bit too longer to check out.
Bill Maley on the sideline. Bill?
That delay of the game penalty was due to Reardon checking off at the line. Almost every play he comes up, he checks off, reads the defense, and changes the play at the line. That's going to happen all game.
And here is Temple coming out of a shotgun now on third down and better than 7. Reardon tripped up. Don Gannon. Reardon had lots of daylight in front of him. Had not Gannon been there, Paul Howard.
Gannon overran the play and still had time to react and get back and get in and make the tackle from behind. And it's a good thing he did, because Reardon would have had a first down and a lot more. Here, let's take another look at it.
Gannon, he just fights off the blocker. And here, as you can see, Reardon's got plenty of daylight in front of him. But down he goes as Gannon gets him at the 32-yard line. This will be Jim Cooper to try a 42-yard field goal attempt. He has the distance, and it is good.
Well, he was warming up, Len, from the 50-yard line before the game.
Jim Cooper, who is a freshman, kicked off for the Owls, has just booted a 42-yard field goal. On the year coming in, Cooper had hit 1 out of 2 attempts. He had made one for 43 yards. The one that he missed was from 51 yards, so he has hit now on 2 out of 3. The freshman, 5'11", 181-pounder, number 1, puts 3 on the board for Temple as the Owls take a 3-0 lead over Delaware here in the first quarter. And we have about 7.5 minutes remaining to be played. Delaware, with the opening kickoff, unable to move, trapped deep in their own territory. And they had to give it up on the punt by Anderson that sailed into the wind and was held up a bit. And the Owls, gambling on a 4th down play, picked up a first down with Palmer doing the honors. But then Delaware rose to the occasion, and Cooper had to come on and try the field goal. Temple 3, Delaware nothing. A year ago, Temple had Bob Clouser kicking field goals galore against the Hens. He kicked 5 on that occasion as the Owls won in Philadelphia 22-0. Case on, and he is hit hard. Quickly downfield is Todd Hirschman. Hirschman is number 7, and he's coming off now. Hirschman made the hit in with the bomb squad. Hirschman is a senior from Brooklyn, and Delaware again will have poor field position.
That was a good kickoff that time. It wasn't very deep, but it was high, and it gave Temple plenty of time to get down and cover it. And here,
And you can see Cason, and then here's number 7, Hirschman. He rides into him. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line as we go to live action. And this is Cason, trapped down behind the line of scrimmage. The Owls ready. Todd Bowles, who is the rover back, number 15 for Temple. He comes across quickly, and there's a loss of along one of the plays. 2nd down, 12 will be upcoming for the Blue Hens.
Temple basically plays a 4-3 defense, Len, but a lot of times you'll see all 3 linebackers up on the line.
Higher in motion. Hammond unable to bring it in. He had cleared very quickly, and you could probably hear the crowd yelling, throw the football. But Webster, remember, he's rolling to his left. And he's got to take a second or so to set up. Delaware's leading receiver. Another look at it.
I think we're going to see that it was a little bit overthrown, and even if he had caught it, he would have been out of bounds.
But Hammond has gotten the defense beat. Can't bring it in. Right near the sideline, he had beaten Purvis Herder, the cornerback, on the left side. 3rd down and 12 for Delaware from their own 16-yard line. That's Pontiacus setting up tight here on the near side. Webster, they've got him stacked up. Jeff Ward in company with Tim Hanley. Number 94 is Hanley. Ward is 99, and Delaware will be forced to punt it away again.
Once again, Anderson kicking into the wind. He did a pretty good job last time.
Anthony Young is standing at midfield to return Anderson's punt. The wind ties it up. Here is Young, and he is belted quickly. Fumble. Delaware's got it. Jim Pulaski has the fumble. This has been one of Temple's problems in their 1-5 record. They have turned the ball over.
They fumbled 17 times this year.
Delaware, of course, has turned it over a lot more. He gets away from the first man, and then he is belted. The ball is just bouncing around.
That ball was actually stripped out of his hand. He had pretty good control of it.
Back to action. Webster, he is throwing for Heyer, and Heyer has the reception up here at the 43-yard line. Chris Heyer with a fine reception, a quick pickup of 6 for the Blue Hens. Following the turnover by Anthony Young. Young has had his moments returning punts. He returned a couple a year ago for scores for Temple. But that time he coughed it up in Delaware, trying to take advantage of it now. Quick pickup of 6 on the pass play from Webster to Heyer. 2nd down and 4 at the 42.5. Reeder, they just stack everything up. First man in on him was Eric Haas.
Last week.
Well, let me check myself here. It was Tom Kilkenny, 57, not 67.
Last week, Young returned 172 yards, but had it called back on a penalty.
And we have a Blue Hen shaken up. Mark Rossi had to be assisted to the sideline. A leg injury. And Paul Chakotis has replaced him. That's in the offensive front for Delaware. 3rd down and a long 3. Hammond. And as the pass was thrown, we had a flag drop. And let's see if Delaware is going to be hit with a procedure call. Referee is Anthony Chambers.
That's what it is.
Procedure against Delaware. So that wipes out the first down. That flag, and actually a whistle was blown just as the pass was unloaded. Evidently Hammond in motion, just a little prematurely. 5-yard step off, putting the ball back at the 39-yard line. Tubby Hammond not too happy with the call on the sideline. 3rd and 8. Tim Sager now in at tight end here on the near side. Here is nothing.
Yeah, there's a flag.
And now a flag is thrown, and we have one official say no, and the other official throws the flag as D'Arienzo tried to make his cut. There was contact.
That was obvious interference. It was the referee that was about 20 yards away that called it, though.
Here's the call. Tubby Raymond talking things over with Guy D'Arienzo.
Here we go. Take another look at it.
D'Arienzo to the top of the screen, and he is out of our view, but as Webster unloads it, he gets tangled up. And the call will go against Temple and gives Delaware a first down at the 43.5-yard line. And D'Arienzo comes in, and Stager goes out, so Delaware will be operating with two wide outs, D'Arienzo and Hammond. Hammond to the far side, D'Arienzo to the near side, and now B.J. Webster wants to ask for a timeout. As D'Arienzo goes to the huddle, Webster goes to the sideline, and a little confusion here.
That's what it looked like. I don't know whether he saw something that Temple was lined up with that didn't show up in the game films that they watched, that they weren't prepared for, or whether there was just some confusion among the Delaware offensive players as to what play was going to be run. But in either case, B.J. did the right thing. It's better to waste the timeout and avoid making a big mistake that would give Temple the ball than to run a play and not be sure of yourself.
The Owls hitting for 3 points on a 42-yard field goal by Jim Cooper. On their first possession, they had great field position following the punt by Anderson into the wind that was held up at midfield. Gambling on a 4th down call with less than a yard to go. Palmer made the first down, and then after Delaware came up with a defensive play,